and welcome to all of you. Quickly, I am Hank Philippi Ryan, the USA Today bestselling author of 13 thrillers, including Her Perfect Life, which got starred reviews from Publishers Weekly and from I know this, Publishers Weekly and Kirkus. I made a shirt out of this. Publishers Weekly and Kirkus, and just went into a second printing after 2 weeks on sale. So I am very thrilled about that. So let me introduce our fabulous authors to you right now. First, I see John Copenhaver. John Copenhaver,
Hey.
welcome, welcome, welcome. John Copenhaver's historical crime novel, Dodging and Burning, won the 2019 Macavity Award for Best First Mystery Novel and garnered Anthony, Strand Critics, Barry, and Lambda Literary Award nominations. John writes historical crime fiction set in the aftermath of World War II with a focus on social issues. His new novel, The Savage Kind, hold it up, John, or if it's right behind you, casually displayed behind you, is a reimagining of the femme fatale. John says it's the twisty and twisted coming-of-age story she deserves, and I have read it, and it is absolutely terrific. Welcome, John. Welcome. John Lescroart, wave John, from California, is the author of 29 legal thrillers set in San Francisco. His 30th, The Missing Piece, will be published by Atria on November 16th, and I raced through that book. It is a relentlessly twisty murder thriller featuring Dismas Hardy and John's other much beloved regular cast of characters. With sales of more than 12 million copies, his books have been translated into 22 languages in more than 75 countries. Welcome, John. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Vanessa Lillie, the fabulous Vanessa Lillie, is a Rhode Island-based thriller writer whose fabulous debut, Little Voices, received starred reviews from Publishers Weekly and Library Journal and was an Amazon bestseller. She's at work on her third book. It is set in northeastern Oklahoma, where she's from, that honors her Cherokee heritage. She lives in Providence with her husband and sloth-obsessed son. That's really.
We'll hopefully be quiet, but no promises.
Well, sloths are quiet. I mean, sloths are quiet, right?
He's not like a sloth.
Oh, he's not like a sloth. Okay. And our fourth author tonight is Sarah Strohmeyer, the award-winning, nationally best-selling author of 18 novels for adults and young adults, including The Cinderella Pact, which was made into a Lifetime movie. A former newspaper reporter, she is currently the elected town clerk of Middlesex, Vermont, where she lives with her husband and cat. Sarah's debut thriller, Do I Know You? Awesome book. You see why this is just such a great lineup tonight. Will be released November 30th. She says the inspiration came from being an unwilling member of the TSA's terrorist watch list. So in the breakout rooms, I know we will want to ask her about that. And now we will start, as always, with our not quite 20 questions, 3 questions on these special backroom cards, and each author will get 3 of them. They are very, very difficult questions, and I hope the authors studied. Okay, John Copenhaver, let's start with you.
Okay.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
I am a late afternoon person, apparently. Many years I was a morning person, but it's all changed. I hit 40 and I became a late afternoon person.
So you write in the late afternoon?
Yeah, I write. I'm really productive. It used to be a really terrible downtime for me, and it all shifted. I don't know, biorhythms or something. Who knows?
That's when I write. That's when I write too. It's interesting. Maybe it's just getting all the administrative stuff done in the morning, and then by the time it's 2 o'clock-ish.
I think that's what it is. It's like getting the stuff out of the way.
Might be just guilt. Okay, let me ask Vanessa Lillie. What is the first thing you remember writing?
A book about friendship that I waited until the very last minute to write for a second grade project.
A book about friendship. Go ahead.
Well, I'd intended it for it to be about like a princess and dragons and castles, but when I sat down to write it and illustrate it, I found out I couldn't draw the things I wanted to. So I could just draw pretty good like stick people. So I just sold out and did a book on friendship.
No, you pivoted and edited, and you were nimble about it. You were
Yes.
nimble about it.
I also wrote to market because the librarian really liked the story. It was like very sweet, whereas my other one was going to be like violent.
See, you already knew your public. You already knew your readers. This was meant to be, totally meant to be. Sarah Strohmeyer, what was your favorite book as a child?
It was the whole Laura Ingalls Wilder series. I wrote HarperCollins and said I wanted to be an author. And actually the publisher from HarperCollins wrote me, but then I read this book that said Laura Ingalls Wilder was a horrible fascist. And now I don't know what to do. That's my quick answer.
Only you could give a quick answer that's hilarious. I have to tell you, that's great. That's great. Good answer. Okay, John Lescroart.
Can I take 5 minutes to answer?
Sure.
Okay, go.
Okay, you can take whatever you want. Totally take whatever.
Yeah, here you go. All right.
A random question for you here. Are you a good singer?
Well, you know, I'm an okay singer. I lost my voice 3 years ago, which is weird, but I had a coughing fit that lasted 6 weeks. I think I might have had the COVID thing.
You do?
But I was a singer for a living until I was 30. So I didn't think I was very good, but I have made a living at it. So
What kind of singer?
mostly country and rock, you know, Jimmy Buffett and, you know, island music and fun stuff.
And you have a band, right? Or had a band?
I had a band for years and years called Johnny Capo and his Real Good Band.
That's great. Well, good. And you have records, right? People can buy
I
records.
have 3 CDs out there in the ozone.
Wow.
Great.
So,
See,
yeah.
little did we know.
Yeah.
John Copenhaver,
Yes.
what was your first job?
My first job was working in my brother's company, like in Orlando, Florida during the summer, working in their warehouse, like stocking office supplies. I don't recommend it. It was terrible.
Don't you love office supplies? I mean, you love
Well,
pencils.
I am a teacher and a writer, so I have to love office supplies, but stocking them in a hot, unair conditioned building in Orlando is not. I learned very quickly that was probably not something I wanted to do.
See, there you have it. Life career goals.
Right.
Vanessa, Lillie, what was the most interesting research you are doing for your new book?
My new one that I'm working on right now, I've been doing a lot of research about my own personal Cherokee heritage with my family. And so it's been really fascinating to just learn more about where we came from in Georgia, and then which family members were on the Trail of Tears, and where our allotment land was in Oklahoma, things like that.
And that'll be part of your new book.
Yes, exactly.
Does it have a title? Can we know?
It's called Blood Sisters for now.
So we'll see.
So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Wonderful. Sarah Strohmeyer, where did you grow up and how did that affect your writing?
I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is a steel town, and my first novel was Bubbles Yablonsky, about a hairdresser in a steel town. So I wrote 6 of those books. Thank you, Chris. And yeah, it totally affected my writing. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. We can see the cat. We can hear you. Because that was, and you wouldn't have written Bubbles without having lived there, right?
There was no way to write Bubbles without having lived in that kind of pink-walled salon era. I mean, I miss that blue-collar salon vibe that where Bubbles is set. And but I think they're still around down there, though Bethlehem itself is kind of suffering. Didn't mean to be a drag, but yeah, it is.
Good. John Lescroart, would you rather write a first draft or edit?
Oh, I would rather get finished the first draft more than anything in the whole world. I mean, you know, you sit down and you just work till you get to the end. And then, of course, the way I write, I don't have to edit because it's pretty perfect when I hand it in.
Yeah.
Like all of us, I think. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
we're
So,
very close to perfect. So
do you look?
thing is just getting through.
So, do you look forward to the editing part because you've gotten through the beginning?
You know, I can't say that I love it. You know, because basically the editing part is finding out what you did wrong all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I prefer not to go through it, but you have to do it to make it good.
I look at it like a treasure hunt. It's a treasure hunt that I'm looking for.
I have a book called Treasure Hunt.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said I have a book called Treasure Hunt.
How did I know? Okay.
See, you could have been the editor.
I could have. I wish I would have. That would have been fun. So the authors know that we have asked them to bring a book to recommend, and let's hear what you all have to say. John Copenhaver, what are you recommending tonight?
By Way of Sorrow by, I don't know if you can see, Robin Geigel. This is a book by a trans author about a trans attorney, and it's a great legal thriller. I think it just moves very quickly, but has sort of richness of character, and you get to learn a lot about the trans community and what it means to sort of be an attorney in the legal system and deal with a lot of the issues in legal system concerning transgendered people. And so anyway, it's a great book. Her next book is coming out in I think February, if I'm right. It's called Survivor's Guilt, but it's a great read.
Terrific. Thank you. That's a new one for me. So thank you. Vanessa, what book are you bringing us tonight?
Yes, one of my favorite books that I read last year is Winter Counts by David Hesko and Aubrey Wyden. Tomorrow is Indigenous People Day. So if you haven't read this book, it takes place on the Rosebud Reservations in South Dakota. And it's definitely a rough and tumble thriller with lots of great twists. So definitely this is his debut. And there'll be another book in the series, I think, coming out next year.
Fantastic. I love that book. It's heartbreaking. And he also has a story in the Bouchercon anthology, which is equally heartbreaking. So I urge you all to read that as well. But yes, I love that book. Sarah, what are you bringing us?
Well, I don't know what happened to the original book, but I did order it. It's called The Perfect Wife, and I recommend it because it is a spin on Pygmalion set in Silicon Valley. I also really like the structure of this book, and I think that J.P. Delaney is a fascinating author because he doesn't follow the normal structures that I'm familiar with, and it had a really great twist. And it was recommended by my friend in England, so I'm not too sure if people around here are familiar with him as much. So
wonderful. Well, we have a graphic of it, so everybody can see the cover very easily. So thank you for that. People are saying, great book. Anna is saying, great book. J.P. Delaney is awesome. Great book, great book. Everybody's loving all of your, don't forget to look at the chat, you all, because people are applauding you and applauding your choices. John, what book are you recommending tonight?
Well, I can't say that I'm recommending a newcomer. C.J. Box is just unbelievably great. And, if you just want somebody who can tell a great story with all kinds of social issues woven into it, this is the first of the Joe Pickett series. So it's you can live with this guy for a long time. And I just love him. I love all of his work. And he's also a great guy, but he writes beautiful books. So I recommend it highly. This is the first in his series. So check it out if you've resisted it, but it's really good.
And that's the first in the series, you said, open season.
Yeah.
You're right. He is such a great guy. He's really an authentically good person.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.